Greetings, land of YouTube. Got this live stream with my phone figured out a little better. It was going to let me do it in landscape, and then right there at the beginning, it got locked and said I had to go to portrait. So we're back at portrait. Trying to get that figured out. I got my cat's head in the way too. For those of you that have been watching along, that you watched my last video, the red line, or for the didn't watch that last video, these red lines of last Friday every month, they represent the Bitcoin CME futures market, the monthly expiration of Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumps down basically every month. There's the same pattern flowing out or following, whatever I'm trying to say. I can't edit this video, so sometimes I misspeak. So if you hear me say something that doesn't make sense, I might be misspeaking. I can't go back and change it because this is a live stream. The yellow lines are the pumps. Generally, they happen either the same day to 6 days after the red lines. The red lines represent the CME closure dates, and then he's dumping down towards that area. It's not perfect science. One time it happened before, back in last week of April. It was a couple days before the dump, and the pump started a couple days before the red line. But I don't want to keep explaining that every single time. So let's get to this. A new pattern has formed. For those of you that watched my last video, I have these two ascending channels here that are kind of similar. And let me get this. Let me zoom in just a touch. This blue line on the right is the CME closure of last Friday of November. The second one to the right is the last Friday of December. So all of 2021, actually starting in the last week of December 20, last week of 2020, is where this pattern started, pumping, dump down to it, pump, dump down to it, pump, dump down to it, pump, dump down to it. Red line, yellow line, red line, yellow line. Yellow line's where the pumps start. Little different here. It's the same structure. It just got fast forwarded about a week here, and then there was a small dump here, about 9%, and it just pumps away from it, dumps down to it, just like clockwork. So eventually, this pattern will break, and this won't be true one of these times. I would suspect November, December, January will probably follow the same pattern because people will be bullish, right? And so what's happening on the CME market is like, I'm pretty sure what's happening is people are putting in bets that Bitcoin will be kind of a high price. So the big players that come over to this market and they manipulate it down, I think, is what's happening month after month for the most part to cause pain to those futures players. So my last video I ended, let's see, reset this chart. I'll talk about this trade I got down here. I don't want to confuse people. Sometimes I say things that just wouldn't make sense if you're following other channels, the way they trade and stuff. So I'll get to that in a minute. But first I want to talk about this. Okay, we had to dump down to it. This is where we're at right now. This is the daily chart. My last video I made right here. Actually, I ended that stream like right when this candle here opened. So this pattern hadn't shown up. This pattern just showed up a few hours ago. But I was over on eBay selling some stuff, getting ready for the November peak and dump. So I just had this inkling, maybe technically these two green candles here represent Krisha. Dump down to it, right? And these green candles are that's actually a 10% pump, right? We've already had a 10% pump from the bottom. So I was thinking, what if this has changed a little and this is a pump? This is the November pump, the last couple of days of October. That could represent the November pump, and this could just be all down from here. I started getting that inkling, and that's because this is a super all-time high, and this was a big juicy hype pump, right, from 47,000 to 67,000. It was basically a hype pump about the ETF, Bitcoin futures ETF product. By the way, that's not a real Bitcoin ETF. That's a fiat ETF on a Bitcoin futures basically on the market. We've already got that. That's what causing this manipulation already. So I don't know if this should be celebrated or not, but that's another story. Okay, so new pattern showing up is this new descending channel. It's a doozy. So it's pointing down, and when I first saw it, I kind of frightened me a little because it says that we might be doing some dumping here the first week in November, and that would be different from this last 10-month pattern. Usually by the first week of the month, it should be on its way pumping. So I just want to talk about this real quick and draw this in. This is a really nice, where was that? Really nice descending channel. Really good one. Oops, if I can draw it in the right place. Let's start that over. Okay. Let me get my cat in the way. Come on, get in my way. All right. Try that one more time. Here. I got a cat right under. I'm using my cat for an armrest to stabilize my camera. Working good till she moves. Okay, here it is. It's a doozy. So now we'll extend this down. Look at this. Ah, stupid thing. Come on. Right about in there. So let me reset this chart. Let's get a look at that. See that? See how that's working? Look at it. I'll get the camera pointed at it. There we go. Do some zooming in for you. So there it is, right? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, folks. So some of these channels, they'll go for a while. So I'm not sure if this is going to do some more dumping the first week in November, second week in November. Last 10 months, that time frame, every month has been basically pumping, at least for a few days. And so let's see. We are 20 minutes, no, we're an hour and 20 minutes in to November 1st right now. So I watched this thing bounce from here. It was just about, I guess it was quite a while ago now, maybe 7 or 8 hours ago. And that's where I first saw it, when it bounced here. What's going to happen? I wanted to make this video a few hours ago, but I was busy. So what could be happening is, my last video I said I had the feeling this would come down and touch maybe 59,000 first before the pump, right? Before the November pump. But then I was thinking, what if there is no real pump this month? What if these two green candles here, that 10% pump on October 28th to October 29th, that could represent the pump for November, and the rest is going to be dumpy. That would put Bitcoin at the end of November at the top of that channel would be about 54,000, 53,000. That's probably unlikely. Descending channel is a bullish pattern. This is kind of a bull flag structure. It's not really bull flag, but it's similar. A descending channel is bullish. It's a big juicy bullish pattern, but how long is it going to go? Right? How long is it going to go before it pumps out the top of this channel? Let me get zoomed in again real quick. Alrighty. Unfortunately, I can't edit these videos for you. So you're going to have to bear with me here and there a few seconds. Okay. So how long is it going to take, right? How many days is it going to do this? Lots of times they'll come down here, and we actually have right here this very center of these channels. Lots of times there's interaction there. There was actually a wick down to it here, and that's the only one for now. This one was close here, but if this does break out the top, right, I've been showing these ascending channels here. They've been real popular. Every single time they dump down out the bottom. The ones I have represented here are the 2 times where it pumped out the top, came back crashing down through. See how similar that is? That was the Tesla hype pump. This here is the Coinbase IPO hype pump. There really wasn't much of an ascending channel there, but those two are relevant right now because this is the Bitcoin ETF hype pump, and it's came out the top. Only the second time in the monthly time frame where it came out the top of those channels and blasted down through the bottom of it. This is the first time I've actually noticed a descending channel forming right away. So that has me a little bit spooked out that there could be a dump coming. And that's because this from 47,000 to 67,000 is basically a giant hype pump. So there's probably tons and tons of high leverage long positions all through here since the first week of October. There's probably tons of super high leverage longs. And we had a kind of a little short squeeze, and then a few days back we had where I think it might have been like a failed trigger. Oops, I bumped my computer. We need that back. There we go. Come on. There was like a couple minute $4,000 crash that dumped down and then pumped right back up. That was in I think October 28th. This big green candle here. On the 5-minute chart, it was like a $4,000 loss in just like a minute or two, and it pumped right back up. I think that was the trigger for the cascading red fall. I think that failed this month, and turned around and pumped. And so now it's dumping again, but this could be a little different this month. This is a little different than what I've seen. So this is the 3rd day. It's taken the longest. There's been a 5-day and a 6-day yellow line. Right, we're looking for the yellow line. Right, where's this yellow line going to be this month? Right, this would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there is the longest it's ever taken after a red line to start pumping. Right, to start pumping. So I'm a little leery this month. Could be different. This might go down. Further, or it could, like I said, it could just go down and touch like 59. 57.5 or something, and then bounce up, and then resume the pump. But this is a hype pump, so this could be different, right? The last two, the Tesla hype pump and the Coinbase hype pump, were 26%, 27% on Tesla hype dump, and 28% on the Coinbase IPO hype dump. So this one was only about 14%, 15%. So that has me a little spooked that there could be a dump, that this pattern could be changing right in front of our eyes. There's a tendency when I notice these long-term patterns, as soon as I start making videos about them, they change. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I just want to put this out because I know my last video I was talking about, the pump starts here. It could be delayed this month, and I'm not so certain that November might be a red month. This sees us in the low 50,000s. Maybe we come down and test 52,000. But anyways, this is what I'm watching. And the good news is for bulls, when this finally breaks, whatever it does in this channel, right? Whatever it does, when it finally comes up here, right, the channel will be coming down like this, right? If this does break out the top, that's a really bullish pattern. It should come back down for retest, and then probably come up. Don't look at the time frame to the right there. I'm just using this as example. It would probably be sooner than that. You know, watch it for something like, you know, like here, 7th or 8th or something, 10th. Who knows for sure when, but this is a bullish pattern. It should break up. But I guess I'll end this video. This is basically just what I want to say. Let me show you my trade I have here. I think you can extrapolate what I'm trying to tell you there. Should be a bullish pattern long term or midterm or week, you know, this month, but how far down is it going to go? Okay, so here's my trade down here. As you can see, I'm at $53 profit now. This site pays me to be the maker of the order today. I think I already put like 2 or 4 in, but there's $6 right there they've paid me. That's actually $2 at 3 times leverage. So I've had this open for about 5 weeks now. So I'm not trading like normal people on YouTube, like the normal stuff you see on YouTube. You know, they draw the patterns, they get in and out right away. Right, day trading popular on YouTube. I don't like doing that. I just don't like the time. You have to just be glued to your screen. But back here is when I first started doing this, and all the way up through here, I was doing it with little long positions, little tiny increments. I'm kind of basically dollar cost averaging in, and I'm taking profit the whole way up, and then you know, buying and selling, hundreds and hundreds of little. Grace, I got my deal with my kit. Come on, Grace. Low leverage, super low leverage, and super small positions. And I was referring to it as the way I'm doing it is like sitting in a hammock in the shade on a summer day, drinking some lemonade, just chilling, right? It's really not, it's basically stress free, and you don't have to be glued to it nonstop. But so now I'm doing it this way. I got washed out here. I didn't think I could dump this far. I got washed out through here. So now I'm changing it up a little bit, and I'm using little short positions, because when this thing pumps, a giant pump takes like about 17 days, but a giant dump can basically be instant, right? Flash crashes, you know, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 red candles, you know, like this one here was like 7 days, you know, it went from 57,000 to 30,000, right? $27,000 dump in a week or so. So what I've noticed is using short positions when we're up here high like this should work a lot better. So I don't have my entry point where I want it. I'd like to have it higher. I couldn't get in at the top. I didn't have my money ready to go. But I'm just chilling, right? So I'm going to do this on screen right now. I'm going to refresh the screen. And I'm gonna sell $6 worth right now on screen. Now I have to be the maker to order, so I use limit orders. Now I'm not telling anyone to do this, but I just want to show it. So people understand what I'm talking about. Like right now, I'm gonna put in some little short orders. So watch my liquidation price. It's at 77952. I sold right away, I sold right away. So now, see, that went over 78,000. Look at that, 78,005 is my new liquidation price. My new entry price is up to 52,087 for those of you that have been watching along. My profit's at $53, so you see how quickly that's increasing. For those of you who've been watching, you'll start to get that kind of snowball. You'll start to realize this is like a snowball effect, like a little tiny snowball you pack in your hand, and start rolling it through the snowy yard, and it turns into a big snowball. Build a snowman. It's starting to gain traction. So these green lines here are where I'll buy back my short orders. So I wanted to get more money in up here at 66, 67. I called this days before it happened. I said this was going to happen. I didn't have money to take advantage of it. So I ended up getting in here after I got paid. on YouTube on the 22nd at like 62,000. So I wanted to jerk my entry price way up to like 60,000. And I could have got out of here and started out of this trade and started over. So basically that's what I'm doing. I'll move these green lines up. I'll move my entry price up here in the coming weeks. And when this comes back down, I'll buy back my shorts and get out of the position. And then when it starts pumping up again, I'll start going little tiny increments. Low leverage, little tiny increments, right? And then the next peak will come. And then I'll have these green lines set up here, right? And then it'll come back down through and I'll buy them all back and I'll be making profit. Plus they're paying me, right? I'm $53 realized profit. These numbers here are skewed because I've been reinvesting my profit. So basically ignore those. 78,000 is my liquidation price. So it would probably take like 2 weeks for Bitcoin to go to 78,000. Unless you're on a site that has like kind of suspicious flash pumps, right? Like I saw some sites had a flash crash of Bitcoin. It went down to like $10,000, $8,000 Bitcoin. I would be so upset if I was in a long position and the site I was using had an 80% flash crash. There's something seriously wrong with that. So just on that note alone, this is dangerous, right? So this is just money. This is just money that I can lose, right? You know, I don't want to lose it. And it wouldn't be good if I lost it. But this never put money into cryptocurrency that you can't lose. That's just makes, because things can happen that out of your control. So, if I lose this money here, it's not great, but I wake up tomorrow and I still have the exact same life and I still have do the same things for money, and so this is basically disposable money. If you've invested or are trading with money you can't afford to lose, you've already made an enormous mistake. So anyways, these are interesting candles through here. These three red ones here with the long wicks on bottom, those are bullish wicks, traditionally bullish wicks. Now, it doesn't really matter, especially in cryptocurrency. They're kind of irrelevant. But those are bullish wicks. What those say is something out there, somebody out there, something that was the composite man is trying to drive the price down, and there's another composite man that's saying no. A lot of bullish sentiment. The last 3 daily wicks here. Those are there's a lot of bullish buying orders, a lot of buying going on, buying pressure, but it can't break this top line of the channel. So I think this was overheated, and this could be coming down a little ways before it breaks up. So this might be the first month in 2021 where the first week of the month after the red line could be a fairly sizable dump. But we'll just see, right? I'll make another video about this. This is running kind of long, but from now on, this is like a 9. I've had this trade open for like 9 weeks, right? It's a snowball effect. I'm playing long term, and just so you know, when I say, I would buy some little, I would put in a little short here or little long here or something. That I'm talking a trade like this, right? It takes weeks and months. And rest of the year probably I'll be doing this. So that would be super confusing and really bad to listen to me and then try to day trade off my advice, right? Yeah, you can see it. You can see it right there. Look at that. That's a beauty. I would suspect this to probably at least play out a couple more days before it breaks out the top. That's just speculation. But yeah, if you're out there watching day trading channels, if you are day trading or doing short time frame trades, you may want to draw this channel in on the daily chart, and then maybe you could go down to like your 3 hour, see what it looks like on a 3 hour. See how that's working? Look at that. That's a beauty. See that? Look at that. Right? That's kind of a trader's dream, right? But the problem is it'll break eventually. But look at that on the 3 hour chart. It's just, just up, down, up, just boom, 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 boom. There's an interaction with the dotted line in the middle, right there. that I marked off before. Oh, shoot. I meant to do this one. Anyways, you saw it. On the 1 hour, it's going to be the same thing, just more spread out. That's the beauty. It's the beauty of a pattern. Should be bullish. Should be bullish. Probably bearish short term. Probably bearish next couple of days, and probably bullish over the next week or two. Could be bullish right away. Could be bullish tomorrow, next day. But anyways, thanks for watching.